What's going on, Sagittarius? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a wonderful week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, no, that's a little extra. For those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Sag. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy how yourself has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. Because it's General Energy Weekly Spread. Yeah, something like that said. But with this weekly spread, whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be some messages in here for you. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So I know, just really over the top. So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Sag. Now I'm going to pull a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then we'll get some details with the tarot. But before we jump to this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And in case if y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that are like watching Sag, so definitely check them out. Very intuitive group. I think you'd really enjoy them. Let's go ahead and get into your first card here. Ooh, interesting. Might need to take care of ourselves there, Sag, because you got the 5th card of Virgos here, which is the headache card. And with this card, this is a card of poor health, dis-ease, illness, unpleasant, crisis, emergency, body signal, needing self-care, problem, root cause, annoying, disagreeable, something's off, pain, and underlying conditions. An energy that's coming through here, Sagittarius, is the body signal. And I feel like we really want to be mindful. And listen, this isn't medical advice. Let's just start there. But listen. When the body is signaling you different things, whether that be, if we're feeling exhausted and we're needing more rest, or if we're noticing that just been feeling a little icky or something and just like needing to maybe maybe we need to think about maybe, how do I even want to put this? It's like, maybe we're not, it's a number of things. If we've been feeling like tired, or maybe we've been feeling like these body aches, maybe the body's been feeling kind of tight and maybe there's need to kind of move a little bit more. Maybe this the foods that we're eating, maybe are we hydrating enough? Just like these different signals, whatever that's looking like. I feel like we want to be careful about ignoring that type of stuff there, Sagittarius. And it's not to me to scare you or anything, but the longer that we put those things off and we just sort of like power through, it's just like, oh, I got this, I'll rest. I remember a buddy would always say, I'll didn't sleep much, and just always, I'll sleep when I'm dead. And it's just like, let's be mindful. And so that's where I feel like, if we're not careful, then that's what ends up where higher self ends up forcing us to stop, whether this be through a hanged man situation, a tower moment, whatever that's looking like. How have we been managing our stress there, Sagittarius? Has this been something where we've been very busy with work, or maybe just been a lot of life stuff's been happening, we haven't, again. And it's just like, just even thinking with Virgo energy. Virgo deals with like our day-to-day routines. And I feel like it's like taking a moment and just kind of analyzing how your day-to-day is looking each day. Can we feed in more time for some more self-care? Or, are there, whatever that's looking like. Because, yeah, I feel like if, again, like this we have to, in order for us to do any sort of manifesting or anything along those lines, creations, accomplish our goals, this vessel needs to run in tip-top shape, or, as best shape as we can keep it in. And, let me get some tarot on this, Sag, and get some details. Sagittarius. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, an awful lot of people here. And you got some, So, you have the Page of Cups, the Page of Swords, the Queen of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and then the Justice card here, Sag. And I feel like for some, there's this energy of, not really just taking a moment to fill up our cups. It's like we're ignoring our senses in a way. Really just kind of, again, just not paying attention to these signals. Maybe have you been getting headaches a lot and like finding the root cause of that. Is it the lighting in our place. And and listen, I have nothing against like doctors or anything along those lines, but I feel like we don't want to go in because I feel like the body is pretty. We may not have like an official term for it, but it's like we do know what the body is. What we know our bodies better than anyone else. There, Sagittarius, you're with your body all the time, and I feel like it's just like being careful about letting others try to tell you otherwise. If something doesn't feel right, maybe we're on something like taking something right now and it doesn't seem to be resonating with the body. Just well, hopefully I don't get in trouble with this, but I remember having to take some stuff for like some antidepressants, and where it just I didn't like the feel of it. I felt like nothing. It was like, and that's my sun signs in Cancer, and for Cancer to not feel anything, that was a lot in itself. And then it just all this body stuff, I didn't like it. It didn't. I stopped that immediately. But just a little nugget there. We're gonna move on from that. But I feel like that there's this energy here, almost like this stubbornness. I feel like for some, like maybe we feel like we can't stop, or we have to ignore these signals because maybe we're like single parents, maybe we're providing for little ones possibly, or maybe this is something where it's like maybe you're supporting a family, or there's just like maybe we're thinking about bills or whatever that is. And then it's just like even just thinking about all that stress that compounds there. It's just like, when do we have time to take care of ourselves, to and that's interesting too. Just a little sidebar here, Sagittarius. This little Pokemon deck here. The cups are potions, and that's interesting that you got essentially the Ace of Potions here. And this could be, maybe it's like maybe taking a little more time to do some like holistic stuff as well. Maybe drinking some teas, or again maybe eating more like natural foods. Because maybe if we find ourselves in a rush and things, maybe we've been just kind of like doing more microwave meals and things like that, and you know And I really feel like that there's this energy with this Justice card here. It's just like a matter of cause and effect. Like when we don't listen to our body, what ends up happening, or when we're sick, it's just like where the body doesn't feel well. It's just like if we were to take the time to rest, we can heal a lot faster than we push along, and then we risk putting ourselves in further injury. So, and I even kind of feel too, Sagittarius, on the more kind of like stress and kind of like mental even type of energies, mental emotional type of stuff here, being mindful of, I think, almost like any sort of like immature energies. And this is not necessarily children per se, but it's more so just like energies that may be kind of draining from your energy, taken from, because the Queen of Wands is a very vivacious type of energy. She does have a lot that she can give, but even the Queen of Wands has a limit, and just paying attention to that. But let me get a little bit more on the Justice card here, because the Justice card can be like a card. It's Libra's card. This could be a card of relationships as well. So that's why I kind of brought up with that. But even kind of feels that there is this, just something is, something doesn't feel fair, or something feels out of balance here. But alright, Sag, so you have the Justice card is clarified by the Lovers, the Four of Wands, and then the Five of Pentacles here. And the Lovers card for me, this is Gemini energy, your opposite sign. And the Lovers can be kind of like a, this is for me like your higher self kind of winking at you, and a need, and these body signals are a way for my higher self to communicate to you, just like, hey, you know, we're getting to where we're putting ourselves in detriment here, because, and we want to be careful about that, you know, because it just takes away from our reserves, you know, and it just like it just, and then we're just in this energy of, it's like then we end up stuck in having to, let's say if we've been not wanting to call, you know, for example, just not wanting to call off work because we have bills and stuff to pay, but then you end up getting sick and then you need to take the time off anyway. So it's like we might as well have just beat to the punch, go ahead and taking that time, giving that self-care, so that we wouldn't have to be in that, because now maybe if we had waited, or since we've waited, things are going to be overextended. You know, it'll be a lot longer than you had planned, and then it's just like now we're in a really kind of tricky situation there, Sagittarius. So just a little something to, I feel like, think about there. Don't try not to ignore those signals that the body is giving, because they're pivotal to our growth and to our manifesting and all of that stuff there, Sagittarius. But let's get another oracle on the mix. And again, however, that's mental, emotional, physical. Mental, emotional, physical. No, I'm missing one. Spiritual. Because maybe even that's something too. We might be needing that kind of like, because you're a very spiritual sign too, Sagittarius, and maybe we've been feeling a little disconnected from the source. But, alright, so you got your next card. You got the third card of Leo's here, which is the Inventor card. And with this card of innovation, imagination, creative, gadgets, technology, groundbreaking developments, okay to fail, do it again and again, inspired ideas, trend setting, or setting trends, mastermind, and modern era. An energy that's coming through here, Sagittarius, is the do it again and again. And I feel like that's something that maybe we've gotten in this habit of. It's just like, you know, we've been ignoring the body signals and doing it again and again and again, and not quite seeing that, making that connection as to what is causing the source of this, of whatever this problems may be. You know, and I feel like there's a need, again, when I'm saying like really connecting with higher self, it's like really tuning in through this vessel, paying attention to the signals. You know, again, have we not been getting enough sleep, or have we been, is it the food that have we not been making enough time to do any sort of like hobbies and things, you know, do some creative type of work, allow your mind to take a break and kind of check out for a little bit. Because, and I feel like with the Five of Pentacles, again, kind of being here, it's like, it feels like that the weight of the world is on your shoulders. Maybe we feel like we're just kind of all in this by ourselves, and we just have to push on and push forward, and and not to say that this is going to happen again, but if it does, Sagittarius, I feel like take that time, since you're already needing to pause anyway, to think about that and really get down to the root cause again of what that is. Is there something disagreeable with what we're doing? Maybe it's our work environment that's stressing us out. Maybe it's the living conditions that's stressing us out. Maybe if you happen to live in the city, let's say, maybe we need to take a break and go to like the countryside, get some fresh air, you know, be amongst, instead of the city noises, being amongst some more natural noises. Or if you can't escape, if you can't leave like that, Sagittarius, then maybe it's like, you know, how's our environment looking as well? Is that conducive to our growth? Is that promoting this level of peace and zen? And, you know, because the Ace of Cups, usually there are these 5 streams that are pouring out of this cups, and those are supposed to represent your 5 senses. And then there'll be this dove that's diving in that represents your 6th sense. And when we're not tuning into one of those things, that keeps us separated from source, and it just makes it harder to navigate and manifest and, you know, do all the things in this realm here, Sag. But let's get some tarot on this. All right. right, so you have the Emperor, the Judgment card, the Star card, and then the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles, slowest moving knight in the deck. And this might need of the knights, and might need to slow down a little bit there, Sagittarius. And there's might be something too. I'm gonna say one more thing on this body signal, then I am gonna switch gears, because I feel that too. With this energy, the Star card can be a card of healing, and it can also be a card of unexpected help. And I feel that if we've been feeling like we need to be in Emperor mode all the time, and that's interesting too, because it's just looking at that Sagittarius, you got all the air signs here, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius here. And so, but if we felt like we need to just always be on all the time and have to be on, like, that's exhausting for an Emperor to be in your energy like that, like constantly. So definitely I feel like there's a need to change. There's, this judgment calls, like heeding, listening and saying like, hey, this how we've been going is affecting us. But now with this, let me sit with that for a second. Because I feel like for some that there's been this energy of a different maybe type of body signal, where maybe we've been in a more sort of like our thoughts in a sense, because the air signs, they deal with like the intellect, and maybe we've been getting these ideas and not really following this passion here. Because even just thinking with the Queen of Wands, she's one that really kind of follows her heart, and have that kind of fueled by the Page of Cups, that sort of youthful type of both these energies, that sort of like bringing those feelings and those ideas and bringing them to fruition. It's like it feels like that we've been maybe trying to do this thing again and again, but there's something here that maybe there's either like some people that are maybe getting in the way of this dream that we're trying to manifest possibly, or there's even, or maybe we've even been just like ignoring this call possibly. Like it's because I'm just thinking too with where Saturn's at right now. Saturn's in Pisces, and that's forming a square with your sign, and that deals with that sort of like can deal with that kind of like tapping into that spiritual side, listening to that. Because let's say, for example, if we wanted to be like an artist, and we've been trying it again and again, we've been maybe working with let's say painting, for example, but maybe you're more natural with building like little gadgets here, or maybe you're good at like woodworking, or maybe it's good at crafting. It's like exploring maybe different mediums, I feel like, in order to try this up and kind of take this slow. It's like maybe we've been trying to rush something even along here, but there's a need to be a little more thoughtful, kind of take more time with that, whatever this thing that we may be kind of nurturing here, Sagittarius. And there's these signals that if we've been just like kind of hitting these failures, it's just like, what is it that caused this fail? Were we kind of force it? Were we trying to, was there outside influences that were expecting it? Was it something that you've been? Let me get a little bit more with this Judgment card here, Sag. Alright, so I'll just see what's going on here. Interesting. So the Judgment card is clarified by the Strength card, the High Priestess, the Knight of Swords, and then the King of Swords here. And I feel like for some that there's this, because it's do it again and again. It feels like that there's something that we've been, an idea again that we're trying to get to fruition, that we're trying to make manifest. And it seems to be, it's like when we fail, then our confidence starts to wane here with the Strength card. And then it's like it's just this giving up energy, but it's like we don't want to give up in a sense, but it's just like there's this frustration that I feel like for some that it's not like, why isn't this thing working? It's like it's my dream, but it's not doing it. I feel like the high priestess is just like your intuition's just like saying like, because there's a, like a need to try something different, like going from another approach to maybe, and this might be scrapping something altogether, but whatever this thing is, I'm not saying that that's what the case may is, but there's this little nugget of wisdom that we're not thinking about or that we're not considering, or, and and I feel too with all these people kind of popping up here, Sagittarius, maybe this is something where it's like, maybe we've been trying this thing and maybe we've been worried about what other people are thinking as opposed to trusting our gut in a sense and calling upon our own, really like, let's say for example if you're a musician and it seems like maybe the group that you're, maybe a few like them, a few don't, and but it's just like it's, and see, the thing with creativity and all sorts of manifestation, not, it may not resonate with everyone, but that doesn't mean it's not going to resonate for someone and to do some work. When I started this channel, for example, I know where I want this where to grow, but I'm extremely grateful for where it's at right now, and that is continuing to grow, and I feel like it's appreciating the process along that as opposed to, because I feel yours is a sign that sees the big picture. You want to get to that big picture, but I hope this is making sense, Sagittarius. This is very interesting. That's what's kind of coming through here. All right, Sag. Let's get your last card. All right, so you have the seventh card of Taurus here, which is the eyeglasses card. And with this card, this is a card of assessment, evaluate options, perspective, review, analyze, opinion, judgment, examine, seeing clearly, the fine print, estimate, closer look, focus, awareness, and check the details. And the energy that's coming through here, Sagittarius, is the review. And I feel like with that body signal, just if we've been ignoring stuff about ourselves, there's a need to review what we've been doing, what we've either been putting in it or what we've been lacking in a sense. Maybe we're lacking sleep, we're lacking a certain nutrient, whatever that's looking like. But I also feel that if this is some sort of project that we're working on, because you really are kind of, the energies are a little scattered here, but it feels like that if this is something that, yeah, project or something, there's a need to review like how we're doing, or maybe we even have I even feel like maybe even for some we have something that is up for review here, and it's just like where there's this fear of like failing, and like, and I do feel like, again, if we've just been, this is something where we've been in this sort of repetitive cycle here. The King of Swords, it's more Gemini energy. There's this wisdom that's not being applied. Like, maybe we've gotten a review on like a piece, and it's just like we keep, because I feel like there's a difference. It's one thing if a person is offering you constructive criticism. Like, oh, I like certain parts of this. Had you consider maybe playing around with this, for example, or doing this, and then like taking what resonates with you and leaving the rest with them. But I feel like almost there's, again, that like when I was talking with the Queen of Wands, there's this stubborn energy. It's like maybe we're not even taking other people's opinions into account. We're just sort of dismissing this, like, oh, I know best, but then we still find ourselves doing the same type of thing over and over again. Like, and I feel that there's a way for you to still keep your who you are in this energy, especially if this is like a creative type of thing. I feel there's still a way for you to make sure to keep what you're doing, but consider that there are some opinions that are trying to support you, that are trying to elevate you, trying to make this thing better. Because again, the Star card can be a card of unexpected help. And but let me get some more tarot on this and see what's going on with that. All right, last little bit here, Sag. Yeah, man. Yeah, you got a lot of people around you here, Sagittarius. Because you have the Knight of Wands, the King of Pentacles, the Six of Discs, and then the Eight of Swords here. And let's switch back over. Because I do feel like for some, just thinking about like how we were talking about with the body signals and the health earlier, you know, like your mental health, spiritual health, like maybe there for some it's just like we need to maybe balance out where we may be giving our time to some of these people, because even your people are just sort of like the energies are very random, and it feels like that we're just like we're trying to give too much of ourselves to all of the people, and you know it's just like and essentially we're just like we're trapping ourselves in the sense of like always needing to like perform or always needing to put on this energy of, you know, for the Knight of Wands, he's always wants to have fun. The King of Pentacles wants to do something more serious, you know, wants to go on a business plan. Knight of Pentacles, he don't know what he's doing. King of Swords thinking too much. Knight of Swords, he's all, you know what I mean? It's just like that's sort of what it feels like. It's just like we're trying to keep up everywhere, and it's just like we're ignoring you, Sag, like not listening to yourself. You know, we were more focused on the Justice card here, where that deals with Libra energy, those one-on-one relationships, where the Emperor's more kind of self-focused. And that's even interesting too. Now that I said that about those, because you even got opposites with Leo, the Strength card, and Aquarius, the Star card, where Aquarius deals with like the groups and friends and collective. Leo deals with that self-expression in things, and then getting into that creative energy. Maybe it's again we've been trying to, for some, I feel like it's like we've been trying to maybe try to please others, maybe in our creativity possibly, and that's why things aren't trying lining up there. It's like we're not expressing our who you really are in a sense. But I do also feel that for some others there's this energy of others trying to keep you in some sort of box. They're trying to contain this energy to get you just doing one type of thing. So the moral of this story is I feel like just paying attention to where we're giving our energies to, what's draining us, what is, and listen to the body. Listen to when it's like, and really review. Take a moment and pause and just review, because I feel like your sign is, you know, is one that's always on the move, and you know, always looking to grow and to learn and things. But again, I feel like there are certain energies that warrant more of our time than others, and our energy and resources and things. And all right, I think I'm, because that was a lot, Sage. I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave that there. So if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. Interesting, because and then share the Sagittarius. You know, however this may resonate for, you know, maybe you have a friend who's giving too much, or you know, not taking enough time to rest, or you know, or maybe there's this, and there's this review, whatever that review is. It's like there's something that is, I feel like for some there's something up for review, and it's like not letting the problems and maybes of others, not letting you get your stuff done as well there, Sagittarius, because maybe that's what this do it again is too. It's just like we keep, just something to think about there. And subscribe, hit that bell button. Let's switch gears. I'm about to get back into your reading. Subscribe, hit that bell button if you haven't already, and you'll get notified when I release videos each week. And then lastly, if you have any Cancer in your place, because you've got our ruler here, not that you need her, yeah, my sun signs in Cancer, but if you, yeah, Sun, Moon, Rising, come on over to the Chair Eating Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We absolutely discuss the lunar shenanigans, freak out when the High Priestess is here there, Sag, and it's a good old time. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below, but let me get you surprise cards here so I can get you out of here. Because what's one more person to deal with? You got the King of Cups here. And so how many people you got there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 people. Just all wanting your attention there, Sagittarius. And when do you have time for you? When you have time to fill up your cups. You know, get some time and balance there. Because this is a lot of energy. And so now 10 people. And in all seriousness, Sagittarius, I do feel like that there is this it's just like there's this energy of, I feel like needing to just kind of always, how do I want to put this? For some, it's this people pleasing type of energy because the King of Cups is for me, it's Pisces energy, and Pisces has a lot that they can give. And I even was fumbling. I just did Pisces reading, but there was even times where Pisces was about to come out of my mouth, but it just like it felt like that it was kind of doing that. There's just like we're just giving and giving and giving and not paying attention to how that's putting us in detriment possibly. But then there's this, yeah, it's like trying to be everything to everyone is what this is. And I feel like there's again that review is just like to get eyes on that and to see how that can take away from your abundance, because where you do, being Jupiter ruled, you do have a lot of energy to give, but there's a limit. Like there's eventually that can tap there, we can reach a cap there. So your energy's in Taurus right now. Jupiter's in Taurus. He's retrograde. Take it easy. Knight of Pentacles. Let's slow down a little bit and just kind of, maybe just like take a little time for you, but let me get your see what this Oracle card is so I can get you out of here, Sag. Interesting. You know what? Maybe we do need to go on a boat, kind of isolate ourselves. You got the 7th card here, which is to the sea, and the King of Cups, he's throned on an ocean. And there's a lot that's happening in the ocean. There are all types of critters and creatures doing all types of things, wanting to get his attention. But I feel like this is a place to find quiet, to just zen out, because it just feels like that you've just been all over the place, and like maybe even more so than normal. Or and if you find yourself doing that here, Sag, that I feel like there's a need to listen to that intuition, where it's like, again, you don't have to be an Emperor energy all the time. You can stop for a minute and just kind of reevaluate, allow yourself to just find that peace again, and just, because that just brought me some zen there, Sag. So maybe this is going on a boat or going on a trip, or just because that's interesting too while I'm thinking about that travel, because the 7th card in the major arcana, that's chariot energy. So come over to the chariot, and friends, but also just I was just to say just run run as fast as you can from all these people. No, but just maybe just find a getaway, and even if we can't go anywhere, just take a little time for you, create a little zen space. And maybe we have a lot of people in our space, maybe we have a family and things like that. Create a little nook for yourself, just something where you can just like, all right, I'm going on do not disturb mode for as long as I need and just meditate, Sagittarius, and just kind of be for a moment. So all right, I think I'm gonna leave that there, Sag. But stay safe out there. Pay attention to the body, and pay attention to, like, as far as like that project, just like, it's like this, do it again and again. It's just like coming at it from a different approach is what I feel like. It's like maybe for some we're something to think about there. And you raise your vibration to the roof, because I mean you keep all these other people raised up. And again, if you don't, it's hard to fill up other people's cups when you're running on empty there, Sagittarius. So just something to consider there. And I will catch you on the next one. Later.